Hi guys, so I just wanted to check in and tell you a little bit about what I've been dealing with all day. Today was supposed to be my month 3 of 6 for my physician's monitor diet, and I had an appointment with my primary care physician at 7:40 this morning, and then I had another one with my bariatric surgeon at 10:15 this morning. Both of them are on opposite sides of the town where I live. And so I did take the day off from work because I knew that by the time I was done with both appointments and got back to the side of town where I do work at, that there just wouldn't be enough time to get all my stuff done for the day. So my boss was fine with that. I took the day off and went to my primary care this morning at 7:40, and my primary care doctor looked a little confused as to why I was there, because he said that now that I'm seeing a bariatric surgeon, I don't need to go to monthly visits with my primary, that I would go through all of my monthly visits with my bariatric surgeon, and that they would follow up with me a month before my scheduled surgery date to do one last physical to make sure I was healthy and everything. So I was a little discouraged, but I said, okay, whatever, that gives me, 2.5 hours before my next appointment. I went back home, took my dog for a walk, got myself mentally ready to go to my bariatric surgeon, and I drove all the way out to where his office is, which happens to be about 60 miles away from my house one way. So I went out there, and the receptionist says, "Oh, I'm sorry. You're way too late to be seen today." And I was a little confused because my appointment was at 10:15 this morning. So what happened? She said, "No, your appointment was scheduled for 8:30 this morning." I said, "No." And I showed her my card, my appointment card, and it said 10:15. She said, "Okay, let me go talk to somebody." So she ended up coming back and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There must have been confusion. That's actually for your October appointment. September was supposed to be for 8:30, and the person that made your appointments is new. She must have gotten the days confused." So at this point, I'm a little irritated because I drove all the way out there. I already went through wasting time to go see my primary care this morning just to find out that he didn't need to see me anymore. I also needed to fast to go see my bariatric doctor for some tests that they needed to do. And so I haven't eaten since 7 o'clock last night, actually 6:30. I finished dinner around 7. So I was already a little irritable. I couldn't have coffee this morning. And so I'm without caffeine and I haven't had anything to eat since yesterday. And I said, well, I don't think that that's really acceptable, that I should have to suffer or, get pushed back or whatever because this person made a mistake. I need you to go talk to the medical examiner and see, or the medical assistant, and see if they can see me now or when the soonest is today that they can see me. She says, "Oh, you can wait here, and she might be able to see you before they go to lunch around 12:30 or 1 o'clock." Not going to happen. It was already 10:15, or it was 10 o'clock at the time. I'm not about to sit there for the next 2 hours and possibly be seen or possibly be turned away, especially after not eating all day. So I asked her when the next available appointment was within the month of September, because the requirements for my insurance have 6 consecutive months of monitored weight loss. And she said, well, the soonest we can get you in is October 5th. Well, that's not going to work either. And at this point, I was starting to raise my voice a little bit and getting really agitated because all of this stuff is going on. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I just want to get everything done that I'm supposed to. And it's not my damn fault that this happened to begin with. So she says, "Okay, let me go check." And so her manager or whatever, she comes out and she says, "Okay, the best we can do for you is to schedule you for September 26th at 9:30 in the morning." They gave me a new card. I asked them to double check and make sure that it's all set up for the right date and time. And she looked at me and says, "Don't worry, ma'am, we have this." Well, apparently you don't, because you've already messed up one of my appointments already. And it's hard for me to get a full day off from work because of how involved my job is. So, and not to mention, it's a 60-mile trip one way. So it's about an hour and 10 minutes from my house just to drive out there one way. So we're talking an hour and 10 minutes one way, plus maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours with my doctor. That's a big chunk of my day to be wasted if you're not going to have the right information. So she says, I assure you, it's for this time, it's for this day, we'll see you then. Fine, whatever. And at this point, I'm just ready to just throw my hands in the air and start screaming because I was pissed. So I go downstairs, and when I was going downstairs, I get an email from my boss, and he says, we need to talk, ... Great. So I called my boss, and he said that he's not going to be able to approve any time off for the holidays for me for December because I'm taking too much time off from work. And when I first started this process, I went to my boss and I told him what was going on and asked how he would feel, about me taking a day or two off a month to go take care of my doctor visits, or at the very least, trying to schedule them for either really early in the morning or really late in the afternoon so I would still be at work for a few hours. And he was on board. He was fine with it. He was very encouraging, and he said, he wants me to be healthy and all this other stuff. And now that it's coming down to it, he's, getting upset because in the last 3 months I've taken off 4 times to go see my doctors. And I've given him documentation. Everything's on the books, so there shouldn't be any issues there. But still, he's getting a little pissy because it's getting close to the end of the month. We have deadlines that we need to meet, and me not being there definitely affects that. So I asked him, I told him what was going on. I said, do you want me to come in today? And he said, no, just do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you tomorrow. So I hung up the phone and I got really emotional because everything so far up to this point has not been easy to go through. This isn't the first time that I've had to deal with appointments getting canceled or lost or misscheduled or whatever the case may be. I've been to 2 or 3 different bariatric surgeons in the last 3 months that either couldn't see me because of scheduling or didn't take my insurance plan and didn't realize it or didn't bother to tell me until the day of. And it's just been a real emotional roller coaster. On top of that, trying to conform to a new way of eating and a new way of living has been quite challenging, especially when I work in an environment where donuts are on the counter every single day. I also encountered a situation last week where we had a birthday party. We usually have one about once or twice a month for people in the office. And the girls at work knew that I wasn't supposed to be having these cupcakes and cookies and stuff, but yet they would still leave them on my desk. Mind you, this has never happened in the past. If anybody wanted any of the food or desserts or whatever that were brought to the birthday party, they would just be in the break room. But these girls were going purposely out of their way to try to mess with me by putting these cupcakes and cookies and taunting them in my face, which made me really angry. So going through all of that, not being able to eat the things that I'm supposed to be, still going through an overall sugar detox. It's just been hard. It's been really hard. And when I was sitting in the car today, I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to be fat and happy. And pardon my French, but I said, fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm done dealing with all the crap. I'm done dealing with people that don't give a shit. I'm just going to go back to eating whatever I want and drinking soda all the time and drinking alcohol whenever I want. And fuck it. I'm just going to go back to smoking too, because I quit smoking 2 months ago. And after smoking for maybe 15 years. And, I was happy then. I kept telling myself I was happy then. And I really wasn't. I cried a little bit in my car today. I called my boyfriend and vented to him about what was going on. And I just told him, honey, if you love me at any size, I'm just going to stay the way that I am, because then I'll be able to eat whatever I want. I could start smoking again and I won't be as cranky or bitchy or whatever the case may be. And he kind of reframed me a little bit and said, honey, you can't do that to yourself because you really weren't happy doing that before. And you're trying to make healthier lifestyle choices to make yourself happy. And you were not happy before, no matter how hard you convince yourself. And he said, you're right. I will love you at any size, but this isn't about being skinny. This isn't about being supermodel thin. This is about you regaining your health back. My chronic back pain, my infertility issues, my irregular cycles, my hormonal issues, all of that. my insomnia, all of it. It all comes from the excessive weight that I've been carrying my whole life. So my thoughts or message today to you is this. This journey, no matter what insurance company you have, even if you're paying out of pocket, there's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be times where you just want to throw your hands in the air and say, fuck this shit, I'm not doing it. You got to remember the reasons why you chose to do this in the first place. Because it's not about looking supermodel skinny. It's not about having a perfect body. It's not. It's about your health. And if you're not in good health, not only in your mind, but in your body and spirit, you're not set up for success. So when you have those moments and you feel like nothing's working and everyone's turned against you and you're never going to be able to do this, remember your why and reach out to the people that love and care about you and express your concerns to them, because ultimately, if they love you and they're your support system, they're going to help you through that time and reframe you. I'm not going to lie. I did stop on the way home at the store and bought a box of cookies. And I said, you know what? I'm going to eat these cookies because I haven't had carbs or sugar or treats or anything like that in a really long time. And I deserve it. Again, unhealthy thinking, unhealthy lifestyle choice, because you're trying to calm or remove an emotional issue that you have inside. So I did take those cookies and I put them on the top shelf of the pantry and I put them behind my crock pot so that I'll forget about it because it's still too hot to make anything in the crock pot right now. And I don't know, I'm going to have my stepkids this weekend, so I'll probably give them to them to snack on, or they can take them home because their family might enjoy them or whatever. They have a big family at their house. But I have not eaten the cookies, even though I really wanted to, even though I felt like I deserved it. And even after the crappiest of crappy days that I've had today, I'm not eating those cookies because I know that my why supersedes the taste of that cookie. My desire to regain my health and live a long, happy, healthy life overpowers everything else. And sometimes you just need an outsider's perspective to remind you of why you started this journey to begin with. So when you have those moments and you feel down, please reach out to the people that love you. Reach out to me, drop me some comments, send me an email, whatever, and I'll talk you through it. This is not going to be an easy journey. In fact, it's going to be one of the hardest fights that you have to put up with in your entire life, but it's totally worth it. It's absolutely worth it because in the end, you're going to regain your health. And that's more important than that cookie. So hang in there. If you guys are stressed out or whatever, it's going to pass. That's all I can tell you. It's going to pass and it's going to be worth it. Anyway, I just got home from all these appointments. I am going to whip up a healthy lunch and then take my dog for a walk and try to make the most out of what's left of my day. Hope you're all doing well. Bye.